Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Thank you for watching. I'm Wood, and in this series we're comparing two accounts that we started on the same day, at the same time, played the same way by a lovable knucklehead, with one major difference. One of the accounts will be played with a monthly spending budget, the other is free to play. Let's take a look at our progress. Hey, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you're here. Hey, day 9 on the free-to-play and the budget account that we are comparing to see how much does your spending get you. If you spend on a budget in Raid, does it make that much of a difference? And let's see how much of a difference it makes. On the free-to-play here, when you watch me on the free-to-play account, you'll see this little green turquoisey box around it. And when I switch to the budget account, then there won't be that box. So as I move back and forth, you'll be able to keep up with which account I'm on. Day 9. Guess what popped in this morning after the update? We had the update this morning, and then I see this. I see the new player login rewards. Guess what I don't see? Lifesteal gear. I see Yizo and no lifesteal gear. Are we not getting lifesteal gear? Because it's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Here is a chest piece, and it's a 4-star. Yeah, it would have been a lot nicer to have the lifesteal gear. But we are not deterred. We will take what the game gives us. We will improvise. We will adapt. We will overcome. I'm emotional about it, but this is part of the game, and both accounts are playing by the same rules and receiving the same stuff each day, other than the little flip-flop that we had with the Adeline chase. I'll show you that flip-flop. Oh, there's daily login. Hey, we get a 3-star ring today. I hope it's something good. And then we start getting the perception gear now. The budget account, interestingly enough, got the perception gear the first week, and then now it's getting the other rewards the second week. I don't know why they're flip-flopped. Look at this. Why would you flip-flop that? I don't even understand what's going on. And I hope that the lifesteal thing is a glitch, and that they're going to fix it afterwards, because then you're 3 weeks in, and 3 weeks into the account already, you're not really gonna be able to take that much. Well, I mean, it'll still be good, but it would have been so much nicer to have it earlier. So back on the free to play here, got all those things collected. The other thing, Wixwell Fusion started today after the update, and let's take a look at the Wixwell Fusion. I think Wixwell is really good. He's got something unique about his kit, and I always try and do the unique fusions. But that has bit me in the past. Let's look at my main account here. I'm going to show you one of those that has bit me. Bambus 4-leaf. Bambus was the first champion that they introduced that had the enfeeble buff on him, on his A3. It makes it so that somebody's forced to weak hit. They released the Bambus after the Phantom Shogun that puts that on your champions, and because it was unique, I started going for the fusion. But you can count, if you can count to 3, you can see how many Bambuses, or Bambi, or I don't know how to say it, that I have. And you can also see that I have not built him. Before the end of the fusion, I went for the fusion because he was unique, okay? Because he had something in his kit that no other champion had. Now another champion has it. That is a mythical, but we knew at the time that this wasn't going to work on bosses. So, but because I'm me, I thought, well, it's unique, and so I have to go for the fusion. So I went for the Bambus fusion. before the end of the fusion, I was pulling shards in the event to get I think it was fragments. I can't even remember if it was fragments or not. But anyway, I was pulling shards. I pulled another Bambus. 2 weeks later, I pull another Bambus from shards. So I didn't need to do the fusion, but I did it. Anyway, so back on, sorry, little tangent there. Back on the free-to-play. Vault Keeper, I think Vault Keeper is actually really good. His unique thing that he has puts the intercept buff on, and it's kind of like block buffs, but it doesn't fall off unless you take some debuffs. And so I think it's worthwhile to probably do this fusion. I will not be doing the fusion, however, on the free-to-play or the budget account. I just don't have enough shards to do the shard events, and when you don't have enough shards to do the shard events, you might as well not. I mean, it would be counterproductive to try. But I think I will maybe try and pick up a couple of copies of this Terex the Restless. He's a void, and he has some unique things in his kit. And if I pick up enough copies of them, I might be able to fuse one of these hard-hitting Arwood Quivergrass. I love some of the names and some of the names on the skills and the names of the champions that they do. They must have a lot of fun naming these things and cracking each other up. But I've seen some test footage of her on the test server, and apparently she hits pretty hard. And so on both the free-to-play and the budget account, I may end up going for at least to fuse one of the epics, and hopefully maybe keep one of the rares also. So we got that going on. And then the other thing, I don't know, for people who haven't played before, I thought about this question. I was going through champions yesterday, and I wasn't sure if people knew or not. I have it on good authority that a friend of mine is going to start, and that views the videos, is going to start playing the game. And so I want to include as much helpful information for people who are just barely starting out as possible. So if you already know these things, please be patient with me and bear with me as I explain stuff that you know as well as you know your middle name. So when you go through your champions list, some of the champions you'll see have this little swirly symbol at the bottom of their avatar. That means that they're part of a fusion of some kind. And all you have to do is go into the portal here, click the portal open, click the fusions, and then just run through them and see which fusion that champion's avatar or that champion is a part of. And that's a really, it's a helpful reminder of which champions are part of the fusions and which are not. And when they are farmable champions, you can tell by going into campaign and finding the state and going through the stages of campaign. The fusion will tell you also. I'm sorry, I should have shown that first. Let's show that first. When you're looking at the champions in the fusion, if you don't already have a copy of the fusion, let's say, let's click on this one. It tells you how you can get this champion. Okay, so this one you can get from these 3 types of shards. Now, obviously, that's not helpful unless you pull that champion. Sometimes they're running special events to get these champions also. So you just have to watch your events and see if that's going to be a reward. Some of them they made it so you had to win a tournament, which that's kind of crazy to win a rare from a tournament. But some of these, like all 8 of these champions here are farmable. Okay, so this one, it'll tell you, like, you click on her and it'll tell you can get Diabolist from Brimstone Path, that stage of the campaign. So if you click on them, you can tell how to get them, so you know which ones are farmable and which ones aren't. And then you just go in the campaign and you keep running campaign until you pull that champion, or until it's rewarded to you. And then you can put them away in your vault for a fusion for later. So you can open your vault here. And see, I put this marked away because marked is part of the rosin fusion. So that little symbol there, kind of watch, and then it alerts you if you're going to start feeding those champions. It'll bring up a little box that asks, are you sure you want to do this, because this is a part of a fusion. And you can turn that box off so it doesn't come up every time, but it's good to know as you're starting out the game which champions are part of fusions and which aren't. I will tend to feed the ones that are farmable while I'm starting out a new account, because it doesn't really matter. You don't have to keep them. But the ones that are not farmable that you have to pull from shards, I definitely keep a copy of those in my vault. So, and Marked is the only one that I've pulled so far that's part of it that isn't farmable. Oh, this was also interesting. We won the on the free-to-play account. I'll show you the tournament for the Classic Arena takedown that they started after our novice tournament was over. It'll come up. If you see right there, through the darkness, we won. On the free-to-play, we won. That gave us 6 pieces of 5-star Relentless gear. And Relentless gear can only be obtained by winning tournaments. I think they do sell it once in a while as a gear pack, but I've never bought a gear pack, so I haven't even paid attention to that. But it was lucky, and I happened to get some 5-star speed boots in the Relentless gear. The rest of it was mostly not okay gear, but it was nice to have an opportunity to get some Relentless gear. And then on the budget account, I almost said pay to win again. I almost said it again. On the budget account, these tournaments are so laggy and slow on PC, I don't know why. Came in second with 370 points. So for some reason I did a lot more Classic Arena on the free-to-play than I did on the budget. I don't know why, but that was nice. We got some Relentless gear from that also. It wasn't good Relentless gear, but so got that going for us. And then so back to the fusion. I just don't. I'm not going to have the shards to do it. And you can try and go for all the events and everything, but it's really a wasted resources. I think the most the wisest thing that we're going to be able to do is just keep working on our teams and ranking up our champions and making sure that they can solve some of the problems in the game, so that maybe on the next fusion. So next fusion will probably start about a month from now, and then we'll be in a good position, and hopefully it'll be a good one also. If I did have the shards on both of these accounts, I would probably want to go for the Wixwell fusion, but it's just not going to be possible with 10 ancients, 1 void, and then we do have a sacred waiting for us in normal campaign. I could go back and 3-star all of normal campaign right now, but I just don't see the point of doing it until I need that sacred shard. So we've got that going, and I actually feel good about that. I feel pretty comfortable with it. I know it would be really tough to try and do a fusion like this. I just don't have the shards, and so it's not even worth trying. So some of the events, if it looks like an event that I'll be able to do to get one of the rares, I'll just, over the next couple weeks, I'll just try and snipe at least 4 of those rares, maybe try and fuse one of those epics, and that'll be good. The other thing I thought I'd show you, if you're a late game player, and you may have forgotten this, but the points are a lot lower. The requirement for the rewards in these tournaments and events are a lot lower if you're below level 50, and so you're competing against other people that are below that level also. I'm not competing against high level 100 people here, and so that's really nice also. Only 1,500 points for the epic book. You can see we've scored some points in Dragon today. This Dragon is one of the ones I want to do because we're also getting 2x speed in Dragon today, and that's, I just thought this would be a really good time to get some speed gear. There are 9 artifact sets that Dragon drops. A lot of them are sets that are farmable in the campaign, but you have, you're mostly going to get rare, and I mean you're going to get rare and above at least, and at the level that I'm farming at on Dragon here, I'll be at 9, so I'm at least getting a chance at some 5-star gear. And so there's 9 sets. You have a 2x chance for speed while this event is going on. So normally you have a 1 in 9 chance of getting a speed gear piece when you do a run for Dragon. Right now you have a 2 in 10 chance, so it goes up double, and it doesn't mean that most of your gear that drops is going to be speed, but at least you get an increased chance of, it's a double chance of getting speed gear, and that's pretty good. We've got our teams going, and I'm just trying to rank up Adeline to level 50. On the budget account, I was able to get my Taragi up to 5-star. This Taragi is still at 4-star. I've had a little more trouble farming food on the free-to-play account because I'm seeing the difference between I'm seeing the difference now that we're in brutal campaign. I'm seeing the difference between the 20% increase in experience. I'm also kind of seeing it in the silver also, and some of that might be because of which gear I've decided to rank up and improve. But so anyway, we go into Dragon and everybody does their job. Padma's been good at applying that decrease attack, and Stagnite is weak affinity here, so he doesn't always. Let's see, the Dragon puts poison on you, but Ethel's been hitting hard, and the Ethel on my free-to-play is only level 50 right now, but I think I've got the Ethel on my budget account up to level 60. So we'll watch the Dragon go down. Stagnite sometimes does die here just because he'll take a critical hit because he's weak affinity, but not a big deal. And that Adeline heal is really big, and then we've got the ally protection from Taragi. So yeah, it's working out well, and stage 9 is not the best stage to farm, but okay, I'll keep this. It's 4-star, but I'll keep it. Maybe for the next couple weeks it might be useful. If I can put a stalwart set together for Taragi, that would be useful in Clan Boss also. So yeah, so we're getting our Yaizo and our retaliation gear. Retaliation is actually a lot better than it used to be. It used to be a 4-piece set that you would have to have 4 pieces of retaliation, and now it's only a 2-piece set, so it can be a fill-in piece, and it gives you a pretty good chance to counterattack. And Jaizo's actually, I think he's kind of underrated. It's not like I'm excited to build him or anything, but his provoke, though it's single target, it can be useful. And then we have the 2x Ancients coming this weekend, and that'll be part of the Wixwell fusion. Like I said in the video yesterday, I'm pretty much decided now on possibly pulling shards on the budget account, because I still feel like I need something else to fill in on teams for that account. So I may be pulling these Ancient shards, but I'm not going to be trying to do the fusion this way. The event that's coming up, the Champion Chase event, if I got otherworldly luck, then if I pulled like 3 legendaries out of that 9 shards, which is not going to happen, but if I pulled a couple of legendaries and a couple of epics or something, then maybe we would have a chance just for that one shard opening event. But then the one coming up next weekend I wouldn't have enough for that either, because that one you do have to just pull shards for. So it's really not worth trying. I may just pull the shards because it's a 2x weekend, and it will give us a good chance of getting maybe an epic that will help us. Also, I noticed the other thing I forgot to mention, my video yesterday, I was talking about Wallmaster Othorian, and I was describing his kit and everything, and I was talking about how great he was in theory, how great he was in Hydra, and I forgot to mention that his damage dealing skill that he does scales off of enemy max HP. And I've heard that it's not the highest enemy max HP skill, but that it does some significant damage. But even if he didn't have that, even if he just hit hard, just like a regular hard hitting damage dealer, his kit is so good for Hydra. The block buffs and decrease attack, and I think that's why I forgot to mention that he has an enemy max HP. Enemy max HP, it does damage based on the amount of HP that your target has. And the bosses have a ton of HP. When you're just fighting other champions or mobs in waves, it doesn't do that much damage. But when you're fighting bosses, it does huge damage. And the damage on most bosses in this game is capped at 10% of their overall health. What I've heard and what I've seen in the testing is that this Wallmaster Athorian, it takes a lot. It takes really good gear to get him up to that 10%. So he doesn't hit the hardest of any of the enemy max HP damage dealers, but his kit is so good for Hydra because the block buffs and the decreased attack, and then he buffs himself, gives himself increased speed, increased attack, and increased accuracy. So you don't have to build him with a lot of accuracy because he's going to give himself that boost of accuracy. And then he's got this special passive that is extra special when you're fighting Hydra. So I failed to mention that yesterday, and I think it's just because for me, that part of his kit was less impressive than the block buffs. You have to put block, well, you don't have to, but it's wise to put a block buffs champion in your Hydra teams. And I've been looking for solutions, and man, pulling him would be really nice for for any account. So I will be pulling my shard. I'll be pulling ancient shards on my main account to try and get him. It would be great if we got really lucky on the budget account. I'm not counting on that. When you try and go for specific champions in this game, it rarely works out well for you. You end up just feeling bad. And so so I usually just try and accept what I get, try and be smart about when I pull shards, but also just, they're like tools in a box. The champions in this game are like tools, and sometimes there's a better tool for the job, but if the tool that you have will get the job done, sometimes it's just wiser just to focus on making that tool work, and so that's kind of the way I see that. Let's check our market here. Get some mystery shards. I always buy the mystery shards whenever they come up. Keep some silver around in case you get the ancient shard show up, one of the 5 that you get, and always keep some silver. If it's hard sometimes. You start leveling up gear in a gear leveling event, and man, you use so much silver, and it goes so fast. So and it's tough to build it up sometimes, especially when you're not running Spider yet. So we've got a little bit of silver for a 8-day-old account. This is pretty good. So we're on day 9. Isn't it day 9? I did say that, right? Yeah, we're on day 9. Starting day 9. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, so my Adeline in this. Okay, so we all forget things sometimes. I was telling you about Adeline yesterday, and we went into a classic arena battle, and I'll go ahead and see if there's somebody we can fight here. That's a single. Let's fight somebody who's a little more power, more champions. So when we were talking yesterday on the video I recorded yesterday, I was talking about Adeline, and then I was talking about, oh wow, that with his power level, I didn't expect his Sun Wukong to be faster, but he was. So all right, so we've got it on manual here. I'm gonna do War Maiden's Crumbling Blast skill, which puts decreased defense on. Athel will buff herself, and then rain down terror on the enemy. So yeah, that Sun Wukong, if it had hit hard, we'd be dead, but I'm glad that worked out. So what I was let's find a fight where Adeline gets involved here. Maybe this one. I was talking about sleep in the video, doing Classic Arena, and I explained in that video that sleep, that you want to avoid, hitting a sleep champion or an enemy who is under sleep, because if you do damage to them, and I said even poison damage, you will wake them up. And so and then I was playing earlier today, getting some battles in and trying to clear out my keys so I didn't have so I wouldn't cap out, and I noticed one of the enemy that Adeline had slept had a poison on him, and I thought, oh, I put Adeline in a toxic set, which puts poison on the enemy. So it's really counterproductive to her kit if you're going to use her in arena to put her in a toxic set, because she's going to poison the enemy. And so let's see if somebody survives. Okay, good. So let's put the provoke on these two. That's good. And then we'll use Adeline's sleep. Now, I love that she just played, well, she didn't get the sleep on. I don't have her booked, so it's not a 100% chance to get the sleep. So, but if she had gotten the sleep and she didn't get a poison, but you can imagine if the poison had gone on and she was also under sleep, when the poison does damage, she wakes up, takes her turn anyway. That's what happens when you're fighting enemies that are under sleep. If the poison damage happens before their turn starts, and so it wakes them up, and then they're able to take their turn. So it kind of negates her sleep in arena if she places poison. Also, having Taragi, who places poison on his passive, isn't quite helpful either. Kind of counterproductive to sleep. Just thought I'd throw that in there for anybody who might have noticed and thought, what is this guy doing? Why would he do this way? This doesn't make any sense. I did notice. It just took me a second. So, and we'll finish her off. I also thought I'd show you, how I was talking in the video yesterday also about the AI. And again, please bear with me if these are all things that are old hat to you. I'll just show you. I'll just do this single one. Here where you see team setup, you can go in and you can set up a team you can choose any of your champions, put any combination of your 4 in, and then you can choose what skills they'll use in the battle and how to prioritize those skills. So obviously here, Adeline, I think her AI has been working fine, but let's prioritize her Rid of Sleep skill, and then maybe we'll see if she uses the heal when we don't need it. Hopefully she doesn't. But with Ethel, I want to prioritize this self buff that she does, and you can click on the skill and read it while you're in this menu, and then I'll prioritize this as her second skill, the AOE. That may not be necessary. When there's a single target, it looks like she does her A1 without trouble, and I think her A1 might hit a little bit harder. So if it is single target, I'm just going to leave that on auto, but I will want to prioritize her buffing herself. I think that just makes sense. And then Taragi, I think a lot of times he would go with the ally protection first, and I kind of want him to do in arena. I kind of want him to do the provoke first. So we'll click that skill and put that as priority number 1. And then with War Maiden usually behaves herself really well and does her crumbling blast first, but I'm just going to put it as 1 anyway. Doesn't really matter which of these 2 skills she uses usually. And then you can name the team if you want to. It's going to go through a lot of changes over the next few weeks, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But you have that preset now. And when this turns blue, you're using that preset, and so it'll go through the skills in priority order. After finished recording yesterday, I felt bad that I had neglected to talk about that, because I was sort of acting like it was a big problem that the AI didn't work the right way. I just thought it was interesting that her AI didn't do what I thought it should do. Interesting that she used her A1 there. After buffing herself. Yeah, she chose to use the A1 because it's a single target, which is kind of what I would want her to do. Okay, that works out. So, yeah, so she'll use the AoE if there's more than one enemy, apparently, and she'll do that on her own. So you can leave that skill, the little infinity symbol, you can leave it on, and then her AI takes over. But her first priority will always be to use that skill if it's available, if you put a 1 on it, or a 2 if second. You know what I mean. So anyway, so that I thought that would help cover that. And then also the other thing that happened overnight, we ended CVC, And you can see here that we won, and both accounts are in the same clan because I wanted to keep that for consistency also. I didn't want to put the budget account into a strong clan and then have the free-to-play one in a weak clan, and I thought that would affect the kind of the way things might go, and it would just be another variable that you'd have to take into account. There's going to be plenty of variables as it is. I'm not eliminating all variables other than spending. But and you know, RNG is the biggest variable other than the spending. So here we have we won three rings. Two of them are shield, blood shield. They put a shield on your champions, and none of them are useful to us yet. I thought that was kind of some bad luck, but so you can see the rings that we got here. We got a Sylvan Watcher's defense ring, and it has defense % on it. That's really good. We got a Shadowkin ring. Wait, we have a Shadowkin ring. I didn't even think about it. We do. That is so good. I'm going to upgrade that right now. When you get to level 40, this happens instantly. There's a trick that you can do above level 10. There's a trick that you can do where you can put your device in airplane mode and see how many rolls it's going to take, and there's some things I may do a video about it. It's kind of complicated. Most people don't have the patience to do it. I usually do it on my main account unless I'm in a hurry or something, and then I just rank my gear up. But it does work still. It's worked since I started playing the game. I found out about it pretty early, and it has helped me with my silver management unless I get impatient, that is my biggest problem with silver management. That double into defense % is really good for an HP ring. That's great. Look at that. Shadowkin. I'm going to put that on Taragi right now. I didn't think we had gotten anything for Shadowkin. Maybe I was just focused too much on the free-to-play. So, excellent. That's going to help him a lot. It'll also make him a target because he'll have a shield. Well, it'll make him a target in certain situations in the game, but we're not worried about those yet. Anyway, so yeah, we had those, and we had the Sylvan Watcher one. Where was the other one? Oh yeah, sorry, reaction ring. We also got a reaction ring for high elf. So when we get a high elf that is good, we have a reaction ring for that. And then we also got 3 rings on, and I'm almost certain, because I was looking, I'm almost certain that we didn't get anything worthwhile on the free-to-play account. But let's go look again. I might have missed something. So yeah, winning CVC was really good. We had a lot of the rewards. We didn't get the top rewards. There not very many people are active in the clan, and the ones who are didn't really score very many. We scored a bunch of points because we pulled the Adelan, and that gave us 30,000 points, which was almost half of the points that we scored. And I've been grinding pretty hard, leveling up champions, ranking up. I got both of my Athels up to 6-star during the CVC. It just sort of worked out that way. And when I started these 2 accounts, I wasn't really planning that, in a week we'll have CVC. I hadn't really even thought about it. It just worked out that way. So it was some good luck for us, but you have to take advantage of those things when they happen. Yeah, so see, we've got 2 Undead Hordes rings. We don't have any Undead Hordes that we're using, and a Dark Elves reaction ring. So that one's attack with attack % on it, all the percentages, but especially the attack %. Hopefully we'll roll into there, and defense ring with hopefully it'll go into the HP %, and then an attack ring. I mean, you use what you have. It's not the best ring, but it's a lot better than anything else we have. So if we pull an Undead Horde or build a Dark Elf, then we'll have those rings for them. But yeah, the accessories are kind of tough in the game when you're first starting out. I mean, they remain tough. It's tough, and the accessories all come from Spider, and Spider doesn't give you at this level of Spider where I'm at. I haven't really tried Spider in a few days, but in Spider, you see here what it will give you: a 1 to 2 star. I mean, on stage 1, it's just a 1 to 2 star ring. And then the first 3 stages, you can only get rings. and then you start getting amulets through stage 7, and then you start getting a chance at stage 8 of getting all 3 different types of accessories. But the accessories are faction specific. So in a certain faction, you might have a ring for a champion, but you might not have a necklace or a banner at the beginning. And that's the situation I'm in right now with both of my Athels. I don't have a necklace or a banner for Sacred Order. And so because of that being faction specific, you have to collect a lot of accessories before you can really start outfitting your champions with good accessories. But the accessories are crucial for your stat boosts, and as you get further and further on in later stages of dungeons and Doom Tower and all the different places we play in the game, you really need to level up your stats, and the accessories are crucial for helping you to do that. Epic Empowerment. The part of the update today was included Epic Empowerment because I don't have. Oh, good. We have a champion filter in the tavern now. That's a really nice change. Also, man, that's gonna be big. Yeah. So empowerment happens in the Guardian Ring. Oh, and now we can do that too. We can so this champion filter is really nice. It's a fairly recent addition to the game, and it helps you really zero in and find your champions. Let me see. I haven't even looked at this on my main account. Let's go in and look on Epic Empowerment here. Oh yeah, there they are. And don't worry, I'm not going to do this, but yeah. See, here's my Phoenix, so I could. Oh, he's in Faction Guardians. It's not gonna let me. I'm not gonna do it. But if you click on this second copy of Phoenix that I have, and I've got a pretty strong Phoenix. I use him in Live Arena, and he really catches people by surprise sometimes. And I've got him with some counterattack accessories and things like that. And so his A1 hits really hard, and then he blocks revive, and he can catch people by surprise. I've beat some pretty big players, and he gets hit, and I have a Necrit that's protecting him, and then he gets a counterattack and puts down their nuker a lot of times, and then they don't have anything else to do. So he can catch you by surprise. His A1 hits really, really hard. So yeah, that would be great. If I pull more copies of Phoenix, I'll start feeding him in, but don't ever remove your Faction Guardians. Okay, that's see, I've got more than I need here in Skinwalkers, for example. So if I wanted to plus one of these for whatever reason, I could do that. Now, for example, my Fane, this Fane right here, she is in my regular clan boss team. She already does the job I need her to do. I don't need to empower her. And if I pulled another copy, I guess I could, but that could mess up my speed tunes. You know, I think it's the second empowerment that gets you speed, and the fourth one gets you more speed or something like that. I haven't even looked at it because I just don't have any epics other than maybe Phoenix and Whisper probably. I think those two you would probably empower if given the chance. But everybody else, you know, they're all doing the job already that they have to do, and so I might just keep copies of them if I pull them as chickens, because there's really no reason to empower an epic if it's not going to benefit your team. It's just going to do more damage to something you're already doing and solving in the game. So so I'm not that excited about the epic empowerment, although it would be really nice on both Whisper and Phoenix. I haven't really thought of anybody else that I use regularly that I thought would be good to empower. But yeah, that's also a new development in the game, and I think it's nice. I think it's good. I don't disagree with it. It's just I wasn't that excited about it because there's not that many epics that I use that can't already do what they're doing, if that makes sense. Lots and lots of variables in this game, lots of things to talk about. I never know what I should leave in, what I should leave out. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that puzzles you about the game, or you know, things that because we were all new once, and there will be people in the comments probably who can answer the questions just as well as I could, And so don't be afraid to ask. If you're starting the game, don't be afraid to ask questions, even if they sound like they're dumb questions. There will be people in the comments. There's some really great people on Discord too. Go on the Raid Discord community, and you can ask questions, and go on hellhades.com. You can go through and just research things about champions in the game too. I'll keep grinding away at these, and I'm gonna keep doing the dragon tournament. I know that it's neglecting my teams a little bit, but I'm just going to keep doing the dragon tournament for the next couple of days, just because I want more chances to get some good speed gear. Speed is really one of the most important things that you can, most important assets that you can have in the game, and I think it would be a missed opportunity if I didn't try and get at least some 5-star speed gear. All right, that's going to do it for our video today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.